Sink the ball, get ground balls, stay low pitch counts, and get lots of those.
There's a ground ball to the left side, just as you were talking about it, and Blake Rambusch turns it in.
Again, Joseph, he's a sinker ball pitcher. It's going to be 90 to 92. There you see his numbers. Really good numbers. Doesn't walk many guys. Lots of ground balls. So you don't see a lot of strikeouts per inning. You see ground balls, Lynn. It's kind of old-fashioned baseball, which really it isn't. It's still baseball. But he's going to sink it. He's going to throw a good breaking ball, but he will make his living rolling ground balls to these Auburn infielders. Auburn field's 978. They can really catch it. Why not let them?
Davis Diaz comes to the plate, batting .293. There are 300 hitters or better in the lineup for the Commodores. Bradfield in the leadoff position at .322. Spencer Jones, who's on deck, at .366. And then Dominic Keegan at .430 is the cleanup batter. You know, in fact, we've got the 2 best hitters average-wise in the SEC
Absolutely.
in this game. Sonny DeShera leads the SEC in a lot of categories, including batting average. And Keegan is second.
Well, the young freshman here, not a freshman anymore, 32 games in his career. Davis Diaz just doing a great job. And to earn the trust of Tim Corbin to hit second in a lineup like Vanderbilt, man, he's done some great things as he walked on campus back in August.
A 1-2 pitch. Nubbed up the third baseline, and that will take a little left turn and roll into foul ground.
So if you're on the couch today with us, you're having your popcorn Sunday afternoon nap. Don't go to sleep till the game is over. But if you're getting your Sunday afternoon baseball on, I want you to watch Joseph Gonzalez pitch. This is what's been lost in this generation of how hard can you throw. Yesterday, we saw guys throwing hard, and we saw balls flying all over the park. This guy is going to sink it. And any hitting coach out there, I challenge them to tell me how you hit a ball that's sinking hard. You don't. You beat it in the ground. So watch out again for ground balls today.
He's got a very short wind up and works in a called third strike to Davis Diaz. And let's take another look at the craftsmanship from Gonzalez.
Here's the breaking ball. So it's a good slider, kind of backed up on him. So it's called a front door slider, which a lot of hitters will take that. But again, as you're watching him pitch, sinker slider, Joseph Gonzalez, watch how easy it is. I mean, it's like he's in the backyard, Lynn, playing catch, and he's throwing 92 miles an hour. So the generation of how hard can you go, how hard can you throw, this guy diffuses all that.
Spencer Jones comes out. 37 base hits for Jones. That's tied for second on the club. Keegan leads Vanderbilt with a whopping 46 base hits in 30 games.
Spencer Jones got it going yesterday, man. He just took after Javier Vaz made that great play. It was a first pitch fastball, 454 feet, and he smoked it. So when you're a sinker ball pitcher to a big guy like this, a left-handed hitter, Joseph Gonzalez threw a first pitch slider. That's how you keep those lefties from leaning out over the plate, getting your sinker, and hitting the ball to left field. You keep them honest with inside fastballs and backdoor breaking balls. There's the inside. That's another slider. I'm sorry, forgive me. Another slider. That's how you pitch these big lefties, because if you don't do it and you're sinking it away from them, Lynn, they'll get up on top of the plate and they'll take your sink away and hit balls to the left side.
And the left side features that very high but short fence in left field. And now Auburn will shift.
Amazing.
Auburn will put 3 infielders on the right side, including the second baseman, who's in shallow right field.
It's kind of rare. You would think that you would shift early in the count and shift back with 2 strikes.
And there is a called third strike. It didn't matter where the defenders were. Back to back. All 3 hits have been singles. And the first pitch is heat, but it's high. Rambusch needs no directions to first base or beyond. He's been on base in 29 consecutive games. That's exactly what you want out of your leadoff batter.
And if you watch Patrick Riley, Vanderbilt is using a watch to call signs. It's like an Apple Watch, I assume. And the position guys have it on their belt buckle. The pitcher has it on his wrist, and it's coming from the dugout. If you see right there Patrick Riley on his left side wrist, as we go along, we'll watch it. Man, just sitting 94, 95 like we heard. Big, strong arm. But he'll check the wrist. There you see the defenders. They're looking down, blocking the sun with their gloves so they can see it. And it takes about 2 seconds to program it in. Everybody gets the pitch, and off we go.
Rambusch making a bid for another base hit, and that one is just foul on the right side. The young man at the plate right now has more hits in the SEC than any other player. 49 base hits in 31 games. A remarkable start to the season for Blake Rambush.
Well, and Lynn, there's a learning curve, or there's supposedly a learning curve. He comes from Grayson Junior College in Texas, where he hit 440, and he hasn't stopped. And he's at the best level of baseball in the country in the SEC.
Rambush sends a shallow fly ball behind second base. The shortstop is lining it up, and Carter Young makes the play.
So let's just talk what happened right there. 95, 94, 95, 88 breaking ball, 95 fastball, and then changeup. A right-on-right changeup, that's just good pitching. And for the first time really in a long time, I saw Rambush out front a little early, but a great pitch right there by Riley. Very good. There you see the risk. Excuse me, Lynn. I'm focusing on that watch, because what's happening here, Lynn, there are no signs called by the catcher at all. None.
Now, the SEC catchers for the last few years have had radio transmission access to the pitching coach, so the pitching coach can call orally pitches out to the catcher, who then relays them to the pitcher. But this is a step beyond that.
The evolution of this thing, when I played for Coach Baird in the 80s, you called your own game. He taught you how to do it. Then it became the signs, the fingers. Watch this pitch here. Again, 96 on that fastball from Patrick Riley. Then it became, you see coaches giving signs and touching, almost like calling signs at third base. Then it became just fingers and numbers. Then it became index cards and now, then it was walkie-talkies, and now it's watches.
Ground ball left side. That is foul past third. Kason Howell is 1 for 8 in the series. That base hit was a double. Sonny DeShera is on deck. He hit one out of sight yesterday over the center field wall in the first inning.
First pitch he saw of the game and just drilled it. Kason Howell, been around, 4-year starter. Guy out of Argyle, Texas, right outside of Dallas. Everybody in the SEC, we'll talk about his story, but everybody wanted him. He came to Auburn.
And he's hit by a pitch. Auburn gets the game's first base runner.
Lynn, he's from Texas, but he had lived in Auburn when he was 9 and 10, 11 years old. His dad coached football. They went back to Texas. So he grows and matures, becomes a player. Well, Auburn doesn't know it, but he wants to come to Auburn. He calls Auburn to say, hey, will you recruit me? That never happens, right? That never happens. A&M was recruiting him, Texas, Arkansas. And because of a phone call that he made, here he is now as a senior at Auburn, had a great career. When does the player recruit the team? I don't think that ever happens. But
it worked out well, though.
Sure did.
Here's a guy who kind of recruited himself to Auburn as well, Sonny DeShera. When it became known that he wanted to transfer, he let Auburn's coaches know that he would come here. And that's when they really turned up the heat on him in terms of being more active in the recruiting process.
And he's from Hoover High School, a prominent high school out of Birmingham. He wanted to come to Auburn out of high school. But I think the baseball world said, hey, Sonny, I don't think you're quite ready. Well, he proved them wrong. He went to Sanford and said, hey, guys, I am ready. And now he's proven it here, leading the SEC, hits 10 home runs, having a great year.
This is one of the incredible stories in all of college baseball this year.
It really is.
Of course, Auburn fans are pretty familiar with it now, but the young man at the plate, as a freshman at Sanford, hit 21 home runs. He hit 18 last year in his final campaign at Sanford. 50 home runs now in his career.
And I know
including
he did
one yesterday.
He did it at Sanford, but this is the SEC, and he's still doing it here, so it's not that easy to make the jump from a mid-major. But for Sonny DeShera, easy transition.
Right now, he's batting at about 175 points better than he did last year at Sanford.
And his numbers in the conference right here at the end of week 4 are better than non-conference.
Look at all of the accolades for Sonny DeShera. He's third among active Division I players in the country in home runs. And he ropes one into left center field. Let's see how far that will roll. It will roll all the way to the wall. Kason Howell is around third. Kason Howell will score standing up. DeShera does it again. Remarkable. Sonny DeShera, a hitting machine. 1-0 Auburn. On a laser into left center field.
Ball. Sorry, fastball away at 95 now. That's what's amazing is he just gets to everything. Gets by Bradfield out there in center, and Kason Howell can fly. So let's review now. Kason Howell was on base as a hit batter, so one small mistake by Riley, and then a big hit by Sonny DeShera. 1-0 Auburn.
Sonny DeShera has been hotter than a fire ant on a fever blister the entire year. Since February into April, he has been remarkable offensively. Now, we saw plenty of doubles yesterday from the Vanderbilt team. 10 of them, in fact, in one game, which is a high water mark in the SEC for doubles in a game this year. And the Auburn Tigers come out and get a RBI double by Teixeira here in the first. Yesterday, he homered in the first inning.
He did, and what you want to see if you're Coach Thompson is your team come right back out after getting beat up a little bit yesterday, come right back out today and fire away. Joseph Gonzalez had the scoreless top of the first. The Auburn offense now getting going. That's what you want to see responding this Auburn offense.
Brooks Carlson in the series is 2 for 7, including a home run, and he's driven in 3.
And maybe better than Sonny Teixeira at Sanford. All-American. He ranks high. We'll show you his numbers as the game goes along throughout the country. Pretty good off-season acquisitions here from Sanford University. Tough break for Sanford, but a huge lift for Auburn to get these two guys, Carlson and Teixeira.
That's Teixeira taking his lead from second base with his back to the center field camera. And a quick strike from Patrick Riley. Riley coming in with a 2-1 record and an ERA of 1.21.
Really good stuff. I don't know if he's been on the road yet, though, trying to salvage the series in a place like Auburn. I don't know that he pitched great in South Carolina last week at Tennessee, was at home.
A liner to center field. Bradfield was right there to take it on one hop, holding Teixeira to third. Back-to-back solid base hits by Teixeira and Carlson. You could hang laundry on those last 2 line drives.
And Lynn, you just have 4 guys in a row that can wreck you. No offense to the guys hitting the order, but Rambush and then Howell and then Teixeira and then Carlson and now Brody Moore. Here comes another senior. He and Carlson are very similar. Great approaches. They stay inside the ball. They let it get deep. They 2-strike hit. It's like a mirror here with these 2 guys hitting back-to-back. But the first 5 of Auburn, first 4, man, they're scary. They've been everywhere, done everything, and it shows today.
Brody Moore is 2 for 7 in the series. The Auburn shortstop has runners at third and first. With 1 out, Rambush opened the game with a pop-up to the shortstop. The Vanderbilt infield is at double play depth. 1 run is in on Teixeira's ringing double in left center field. Moore takes one downstairs.
Brooks Carlson's a good runner, so Gabe Gross has some options over there. You got a bat control guy at the plate in Brody Moore, doesn't strike out much. Patrick Riley's a 1.4 to the plate. He's pretty quick for a big guy. That means that Brooks Carlson's got to get a big lead and a good jump, but you can hit and run here with Brody Moore. You can do some things if you want to get the offense moving.
Moore takes it high and away. A pop-up. Howell was hit by a pitch. Teixeira doubled him in. Carlson has followed with a solid single to center field. Cole Foster is on deck. What a glorious day for baseball here in Auburn. It is absolutely a Chamber of Commerce college baseball day.
Poor Patrick Riley got away with one there. Kason Howell hit a big 3-run home run, I believe at Baton Rouge last weekend, really big at the time. And Patrick Riley left 94 up right there, and Brody Moore was on it, just fouled it off, but a good swing and a good look. Tell you, high marks for this Auburn baseball team to get beat like that yesterday, to wash it overnight, get back out here today, pitch well in the first, and then come out swinging.
Moore hitting .278 on the season, and he rips one up the middle. That will score Teixeira from third.
To get back to the College World Series, the question is going to be the starting pitching, and I think Joseph Gonzalez is the guy today that can give them some good innings.
Foster is 2 for 7 in the series. Boy, that's always the question, though, isn't it? Starting pitching.
Always. It's got to be number 1. It's got to be the top of the list if you're going to win and go deep and make a run for Omaha.
Foster out of Plano, Texas. On the season, a .276 hitter. We have crossed over the midway point during the regular season. This is game number 31 for Vanderbilt and game number 32 for the Auburn Tigers.
And the approach if you're an offense is when you're facing a guy like Riley, a dominant guy, you got to get pitches in him. This will be pitch number 28. He's only got 1 out in the first inning.
A rip down the right field line, and that's hooking foul.
It's 28 pitches, so Patrick Riley, outside of some really quick 6-pitch innings, he's looking, if he can battle out of this, he's looking at 4 or 5, maybe 6 innings, so the Vanderbilt bullpen becomes a factor. And usually, Lynn, normally your starters are a little better than the bullpen. Now, not always, but that's the goal of any offense. Get the starting pitcher out of the game as quick as possible.
Auburn has garnered 3 consecutive hits, and they've all been stung.
Yeah, no answer right now for Patrick Riley against this Auburn offense.
A 1-2 pitch from Riley. He is fouled the other way out of play.
I got a little bit of a man crush on Cole Foster. He was highly rated out of high school in Texas, and last year kind of got his feet wet, struggled some as a freshman, but he is settling in. 276, 4 home runs, playing a very solid second. He's probably the guy that transitions over to short next year when Brody Moore moves on, probably to professional baseball. But this guy's going to get it going, I believe, for Auburn. Good breaking ball there.
2 pitch, he swings on it and can't come up with it. That one darted down out of the zone, and Cole Foster had committed.
Yeah, that was nasty. So this is a now you see it, now you don't breaking ball. Watch this by Riley. It's up to the fastball and then gone. Back foot slider, and a great job behind the plate by Keegan. Dominic Keegan to block it up with 2 strikes.
2 outs now, and Pierce comes to the plate. The junior from Scottsdale, Arizona, Bobby Pierce. Strike 1.
If you're an Auburn fan, you're going, Bobby who? Bobby Pierce been here for a year and a half. Came in last year and was just kind of buried, but there's been some struggles by some of the guys ahead of him. He just waited his turn, put him in the lineup the week of Texas A&M. He played well there. He played well last week at Baton Rouge, and here he is now. He's had a good 3 weeks in conference and earned Coach Gross's trust out in left field.
This is his 6th start of the season and his 16th appearance in a game. A chop slowly to the left side. Carter Young with a barehanded pickup, slings it over to first base. Safe at first on the head-first slide by Bobby Pierce, and there's a tiger on every bag right now.
Oh my goodness, Carter Young. He didn't get him, but Lynn, you're taught to catch it with 2 hands. Carter Young didn't have a choice. He had to go bare hand. Watch this now. Catch it on the hop, make the throw, and great hustle by Bobby Pierce. I think there's no doubt he's safe. Man, 2 really good plays right there by Bobby Pierce hustling and Carter Young on the throw.
You're also taught to run through the bag and don't leave your feet on a slide at first base, because that's not the fastest way to get there. But Bobby Pierce was so excited, so enthused, and determined to get to the bag, and he did it ahead of a heck of a play by Carter Young.
Well, if you could reverse that and have him go feet first, if you're a young guy out there, you're right, Lynn. He was going to be safe. He was hustling. He can run. The head first slide didn't make him safe.
Nate LaRue at the plate. This is the 8th Auburn Tiger to bat in the first inning against Patrick Riley.
And 34th pitch.
LaRue hitting 208. He has homered a couple of times with a dozen driven in. That's hit sharply, but it will be taken by Vastine, the second baseman, and we are done. Auburn gets 4 base hits in the inning and takes an early lead over the Vanderbilt Commodores. They were hit hard. Teixeira rips one. That's the first RBI. And then Brody Cole later picked up an RBI as well. 2-0 Auburn Tigers. Auburn cranked 4 base hits in the first inning and got a couple of runs from it. And the Auburn Tigers lead the Vanderbilt Commodores 2-0 as we go to the second inning. Dominic Keegan, Jack Bulger, and Javier Vaz will be the 3 that face Joseph Gonzalez. He was sharp in the first inning. He induced an early ground ball from Bradfield and then struck out Diaz and Jones looking. Keegan is the second best hitter in the league from an average standpoint. And the number 1 hitter in the league is standing at first base now for the Auburn Tigers defensively in Sonny Teixeira. Not often do you get the number 1 and 2 hitters in the league on the same field.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, Lynn, yesterday the approach by Vanderbilt against Trace Bright was swing early because he doesn't throw a lot of balls and he's in the zone. If Vanderbilt does that today, they will have 17 ground ball outs to get Joseph Gonzalez.
Brody Moore makes the strong throw. Well, let's look at Vanderbilt's offense yesterday. It was impressive with a capital I.
3 quiet innings, and all of a sudden the defensive play by Javier Vaz. We got to the 4th inning, and then it all began. There you see the hits, the runs. Got doubles coming up. You see what they did when they got somebsomebody at second or third. They didn't let anybody stand out there for the most part. And they had 4 home runs. So it was blast city once they got to the 4th inning.
And that 10 doubles is the most hit in an SEC game this year. But that was yesterday. And today both teams are looking to win the series.
Well, if we get into the 4th or 5th, and we still have Riley and Gonzalez, Lynn, you and I are going to do a little compare contrast and see how it looks. Got some thoughts for you.
I'm looking forward to that. Here's a guy who had a perfect day yesterday. How many times do you go 5 for 5? Many players go through a career of years and years and never go 5 for 5.
And then got intentionally walked, and they brought the left-handed reliever in to face the left-handed hitter. They put him on first. So you're right, 6 times up, 6 times on base. That helps the on-base percentage pretty well.
Can Howell get there? There's a collision and the ball comes loose, and it's going to roll all the way near the warning track. Bulger is around third, and they're going to stop him right there. Well, Howell appeared to be calling for it. Bobby Pierce looked as though he was going to let the center field make the play, and then they both collided, and the ball came out, and Kason Howell is down and not in a hurry to get up.
Pierce sits down, and Kason Howell ran a long way, Lynn. I mean, Kason Howell, the center fielder, has priority, and we don't know because we're so far away as to who was calling what, but man, a routine fly ball out and 2 guys don't communicate. Now you got a runner on third, nobody out.
And it took a while for Kason Howell to locate the ball. Watch this collision. That's like a hit in a football secondary on an unprotected receiver.
Sure is. Looks like Pierce is going to be okay, but for Vanderbilt, you got a guy standing at third on a routine fly ball now with nobody out. Those little things. There had to be some communication. You got a veteran in center, you got a veteran in right. Maybe they didn't hear each other, but definitely communication breakdown, and Vanderbilt with some offense going here. And the man of the day, really, maybe not hits-wise, but certainly the spark for yesterday, Javier Vaz, comes to the plate.
So the collision in right center field is ruled an error on Kason Howell, the center fielder, and it's a 3-base error on that bumper cars play in right center field. And here is Vaz, who was one of the heroes yesterday. Vaz strokes it deep to left field. That's plenty deep enough for Bulger to score. And he does so standing up. So Vaz on the first pitch lines to his counterpart, Mike Bello, in left field.
Check 1 for Vanderbilt. They took advantage of a mistake. First pitch, like you're supposed to do if you're Javier Vaz. Hey, don't worry about a base hit. Get a good pitch, hit it out there, and drive the run in. Good baseball.
So the lead is immediately sliced in half on what should have been the second out of the inning. And now with 2 gone, it brings up Jonathan Vastine. Vastine hitting 136. He's a first-year Commodore. This is his 7th start. And he takes a hack at the first pitch. Vanderbilt did that a lot yesterday. First pitch swinging.
And they battled with 2 strikes. That was kind of lost in all the doubles and home runs, Lynn, was just the approach with 2 strikes. They attacked early. That's kind of good teaching, right? Gabe Gross teaches the same thing at Auburn. Attack early, shut it down late, and battle with 2, and they did that. I don't know how many foul balls it was, but a bunch, and then a bunch of hits with 2 strikes after those foul balls.
Vastine looks at 1 high and away. He's 1 for 3 in the series. He played yesterday. Vastine, a freshman from Bartow, Florida. This is well hit to right field. It is up and off the bottom of the wall. Vastine is on his way to second base, and he makes it with a 2-out double. Jonathan Vastine challenged for a home run. It hit the bottom of the wall in right field. And Vanderbilt has found the range on a couple of swings here in the second inning.
And I told you yesterday, I was excited about this guy. Vastine had a good day. Watch this now. He gets a fastball up. No, I'm sorry, slider middle. I had it wrong and just smoked it. Hey, a lot of young hitters, Lynn, they would swing around that slider. Not Vastine. He stayed on it. He let it get deep. The barrel sped up, and he gets a double.
But that pitch was right in the wheelhouse.
It was.
Not a lot of break to it, and right down the middle, belt high. Vastine knew what to do with it. Here's Carter Young, the shortstop. Strike one.
And that's Gonzalez's 23rd pitch. I would say he's probably thrown about half sliders, breaking ball, whatever you want to call it, and sinkers. And he's missed over the plate a couple of times. And right there, a double by Vastine to keep things going with 2 outs.
Carter Young does not have a base hit in this series. He is 0 for 8 and now 0 for 9 as Mike Bello makes the. Howell stands even with the plate. Rambusch had shortened his lead a little bit and that time had no difficulty returning safely.
If I remember correctly, the call from Coach Thompson came to Cason Howell like 2 days before signing with Texas A&M. He was that close in November to signing.
He takes a hack and bounces it foul. Evidently, Cason Howell had a fond place in his heart for Auburn.
Absolutely.
There's a lot to like here, both from a community standpoint and this baseball facility. And the Auburn Tigers are on the move in the SEC in baseball. Runner is on the move here. The throw down is a bit high, and Rambusch is safe. He steals his 9th base of the year and gets into scoring position.
He chose well. He got a great jump at 12 foot, got a breaking ball, and then the high throw by the catcher, Dominic Keegan.
Rambusch is 9 for 13 now on the base paths. More importantly, he puts himself into scoring position. He has crossed the plate 28 times this year, has Rambusch, and that leads Auburn.
Patrick Riley really needs to get this out against a really good hitter in Cason Howell because King Kong is on deck. And I mean, not taking away from Cason Howell, your 3 guys, the guy you don't want to face. You'd love for him to come up with an open base, but Cason Howell going to do all he can to stop that and keep this inning going.
The 2-1 pitch. He is high and away.
You and I haven't seen Patrick Riley, but go by the numbers. The numbers are ridiculous. So I have to assume so far his command isn't what it has been his first 6 starts of the season because he's just dominant. A 1.2 ERA, and we mentioned the 14 strikeouts at South Carolina. Today it's just a command issue.
Now he hasn't walked a batter until now.
Because there's nowhere to put Sonny DeShera now. Nowhere to put him on that walk.
The most dangerous man with a bat in his hand this year in college baseball is coming to the plate.
Lynn, when I was a pitching coach in the SEC and guys like this came to home plate, I would just call the pitch and then close my eyes and look down and listen. Just listen for something other than the sweet spot.
Sonny DeShera has roped a double for an RBI. That came last inning.
So if you're Patrick Riley, what do you do here? They've had some success, a little bit, throwing first pitch breaking balls. But you know Sonny DeShera's got to kind of be hunting that a little bit because he probably expects to get something off speed.
DeShera is played as a pull hitter on the infield. The shift is on. There are 3 infielders between third base and second base. You see them there.
First pitch breaking ball by Riley. It was a good pitch, up and away, not what Sonny DeShera is looking for.
He does not want to waste a swing on a ball that he can't drive early in the count.
You don't hit 425 chasing bad pitches. You're exactly right, man.
Here's the 0-1 to the big fellow. Instead a turn and a look back to second base.
And you got 2 rabbits on base, but they aren't going anywhere. You're not going to risk this at bat if you're Gabe Gross by trying to steal third.
The outfielders are so deep they're about to scratch their backs on the fence. I mean, they are way back there.
Yeah, Sonny DeShera doesn't hit bloops.
That skips in, and a good job of Keegan by putting his chest in front of it.
Good job by Keegan and good job by Rambusch. He had a really good jump out there, but Keegan kept it in front of him. If you're Rambusch, the last thing you want to do is take a risk and get thrown out at third base with DeShera up there.
Rambusch would score on just about any kind of a base hit. Cason Howell is behind him at first base. And the pitch hit high, hit deep. How far will this go? You can pucker out and kiss that baby goodbye. Sonny DeShera does what he has done all season long. He has been absolutely remarkable. This is the #1 story in college baseball.
It really is, Lynn. It really is. Let the crowd tell you. Lynn, the game is not as easy as he's making it look. 2 breaking balls to start off the at-bat, 1 in the dirt for a 1-1 count. And you know a fastball's coming, but it's still not that easy. That's not a bad pitch, and it's 94. And look at Big Sonny.
He's had 4 RBI in this game, 31 on the season. That leads Auburn. That's his 10th home run. And when he puts the barrel of the bat on one, there is no doubt.
In the 90s, we had Mark Teixeira. 2022, we got Sonny DeShera. Same power, same results from this guy.
So the big swing adds 3 to the board.
It's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Lynn, you know the reaction time? It's like 0.05 hundredths of a second to hit a ball 400 feet.
A chop to the right side. Jonathan Vastine is there for the second out.
Oh, and if you're Auburn, you feel pretty darn good with Joseph Gonzalez. Now, it's a long way to go. You got 7 more at-bats. But the way Joseph Gonzalez sinks it and gets ground balls and stays in the strike zone with Auburn, you feel really good right now.
Let's go back a couple of batters to the point you made when Kason Howell was at the plate. First base was open, and you said Kason Howell is the key batter in this inning.
Yep.
Either good for Auburn or bad for Auburn. It was good for Auburn. He got the walk. That brought DeShera to the plate. First base was not occupied at that point, and boom.
Yep. Anything but a walk. Anything but a walk. Because even a base hit, you would have had Rambush at third, and you could have walked, but you couldn't walk him there.
Brody Moore looks at a strike and a well-delivered ball on the outside part of the plate.
The game is not that easy. And right now, Sonny DeShera, I heard it said about Chipper Jones, he's seen it big. And right now, Sonny DeShera has seen the baseball like a beach ball, about 2 miles an hour. And it's like a golf ball coming 95 miles an hour for most hitters.
Moore had an RBI single last time. And he lays off the high heat.
Probably the first time this year, we talked about the walks for Riley, but probably the first time this year that command is escaping him. He's kind of all over the place, which is probably the first time. How's he going to handle that? We'll see. Not too well so far.
That's the second base on balls this inning. 5-1. 5-1. Auburn leading with a couple in the first inning and a 3-run home run by DeShera in the second.
Well, if you're Vanderbilt, you've got a lot of doubt, and so you can't wait. And Coach Corbin, his pitching guys, they've got the bullpen going, a lefty and a righty throwing right now. You can't wait. Get down too much, dig a hole too deep, you won't get out of it.
Foster struck out in the first, and he takes a free swing and misses.
Good swing, good changeup. The first changeup we've seen from Riley, and a pretty good one.
Six hits already for the Auburn Tigers. The runner is on the move from first base. The throw is a good one, and he is out. Brody Moore tagged by the shortstop, and a fine throw by Dominic Keegan. The inning is difficulty overwhelming Auburn, and it's 5-1 here as we go into the third inning for the Commodores coming to the plate. Lots of baseball to be played here on an absolutely glorious day. The sky is the color of Navajo Indian turquoise, and the temperature is perfect, and we have great conditions for baseball.
Joseph Gonzalez.
Another ground ball, this one to the right side. Cole Foster makes the play. Parker Noland, in his first at bat today, is retired.
So you heard me get on my soapbox a little bit yesterday about this generation that we're living in with the hard throw and the four seam, the spin rate. This is how you do it, Lynn. It's not ever going to change. You have to make the ball move late. We saw fastballs yesterday from Trace Bright over the middle at 95, and they got crushed. Today we're seeing a guy, we're seeing Patrick Riley throwing hard and getting hit hard. This guy so far, long way to go, sinking it off the barrel. Ground ball after ground ball, over and over again.
Sonny DeShera is right there. 2 ground ball outs to certainly amplify your point here in the third inning.
And I promise you, Vanderbilt, Coach Corbin is speaking in that dugout. Guys, see it up. You got to see it up. That's easier said than done. You see it for 55 feet. It's 91 miles an hour, and all of a sudden it just vanishes, and you swing over the top of the ball. That's
Two
it.
fly ball outs, 4 ground ball outs, 2 strikeouts. That's good stuff. The only Auburn problem today was that 3-base error in the outfield on the collision between Howell and Pierce. Both survived it, although Pierce went down and stayed there for a while. And then, of course, there was a sacrifice fly. But quite honestly, Gonzalez did not deserve to surrender that run, unearned as it was.
And those numbers we just showed you right there, if he's got more fly balls than ground balls on a particular day, he's going to lose. But when he's got ground balls, you're in trouble.
A little looper out towards second, and the effort by Cole Foster, but that one is out of his reach. And Davis Diaz has a parachute drop base hit into shallow right center field with 2 gone.
And just good hand strength. That was watch this fastball run in on his hands, and Davis Diaz is so strong. You see the first ball play by Foster, couldn't get there, but he jammed him with a good sinker. And just good strength by Davis Diaz, just kind of fisted over the second baseman's head.
Mark, are you a fisherman? You ever fish with crickets?
Absolutely.
Do you know how they jump around in a bait box? That's what you want your pitchers to do.
No question. No question. And we have fallen for it, hook, line, and sinker. Throw hard, throw hard, throw hard.
I like it. Hook, line, and sinker. Well done, sir.
Touche.
There's a rip into right field, and it is a fair ball. It one-hops the fence. Diaz rounds third. He will pinwheel to the plate, and Teixeira cuts it off at first base, and a 2-out rally in progress now for Vanderbilt as Spencer Jones, who is such a good hitter, doubles into the right field corner.
It's going to be a hanging breaking ball, so he went away from his strength, did Joseph Gonzalez, and right into Spencer Jones. Watch this right here. Now this ball's going to break into his swing. Boom. Bad place to miss. And because of the tough, hard nose at bat by Davis Diaz to fist that ball over and get a single, Vanderbilt fighting right back.
And this is a team with a lot of grit, a lot of gusto in Vanderbilt.
And we watched
a team that's been near the top for many, many years in a row across the whole census of college baseball.
1 through 9. 1 through 9, there's no break. Lots of break, lots of sliders, probably 50-50 through 32 pitches for Joseph Gonzalez.
And you've got a huge hitter at the plate with a .426 average in Dominic Keegan. Keegan will alternate between DH and catcher.
Big shift by Auburn. It's funny, a guy with this kind of numbers, Keegan hitting .430. Normally he's kind of a straightaway guy, but they're shifting hard to pull on the Auburn defense.
And we are seeing more and more an infield shift one way and an outfield either not shifting or even shifting the other way.
And have they voted it down in the major leagues? I know they were voting
next year, I believe
next
so.
Year, 23. Yeah, no more shifting. So I guess the pitchers got tired of leaving the side of the infield up, giving up base hits, and they voted it down. Timing pick. Joseph Gonzalez looks home. He counts 1,001. He spins. Cole Foster breaks over. Spencer Jones not biting. Again, let's keep the fishing theme going. They baited him, but he didn't bite. Got back to the bag. It's the command right now. Gonzalez, a good slider down and away. His command has been solid, but he's throwing sliders. I'd love to see him go back to that sinker, even though you got a guy up that can punish it. Again, if you get it down, look out left side on for a ground ball. There it was. That was nasty.
Check swing, and he committed. So Dominic Keegan, one of the best hitters in the land, strikes out to end the inning. A run in for Vanderbilt. It's 5-2 Auburn. Vanderbilt picked up a run in the second and 1 in the third. And Auburn got 2 in the first and 3 in the second and will bat in the bottom of the third inning with a 5-2 advantage. Well, the SEC continues to just pour players into Major League Baseball. Look at this. On Major League Baseball opening day rosters this year, 93 former SEC players are on Major League Baseball rosters. The next best conference, the ACC, with 56. Now, this is not a surprise, but this has been a number like this for years and years and years and years and consecutively.
And let me remind you, the ACC, we're talking about Florida State, Miami, Clemson, NC State. I mean, so North Carolina, and it's double between the SEC and the ACC. It's the best conference in the country. Patrick Riley's got to find his command. He's bouncing around the zone. Look, this Vanderbilt offense is going to score some runs if you'll just settle in on the mound, let them do their work. He's got to find the command of his pitches, and right now there's a changeup miss there. There's not one pitch so far that he can really get where he wants to get it.
We just showed you the picture of the numbers in the left field corner on the monster. 56 Major League players from Auburn in the history of this baseball program. 22 NCAA regional appearances.
I don't know how long you wait for Tim Corbin, because you're watching your pitcher, you're watching your offense, and you can see, all right, today my guy just doesn't have his stuff. How long do you let him hang out there? Because he's not able to settle in so far, and again, down 3-1.
You know, it's interesting, too, because this is a guy on the mound right now for Vanderbilt who was averaging way more than a strikeout per inning, closer to 2 than 1, and he's only fanned 1 batter. You're
not going to strike this Auburn team out. Too many veterans. I mean, there's one freshman today, Mike Bello, but you're not going to strike these guys out often because of their veteran nature and because of the way they've been trained to hit.
Foster sends that one foul.
And Cole Foster's a younger guy, but he's bought into the way Gabe Gross was trained here at Auburn by Steve Renfro. Just to, man, two-strike hitting is an art, and you work on it every single day. It's not just walk up there and battle. It's more than this. There's a way to do it, and they're doing a great job of it. Great at bat. Great at bat. Went with a breaking ball there, 3-2, and just missed in, and Cole Foster did not bite. Quality at bat for Cole Foster.
3 walks against 1 strikeout for Patrick Riley. And the Auburn Tigers get the leadoff batter aboard for the 2nd straight inning. This brings on Bobby Pierce. He had an infield hit last time.
There you see Patrick looking at his watch. So they're signaling the sign or typing it in, or I don't know, voice texting it in, whatever they do in the dugout. And he's looking to see what pitch he's going to throw and what location he goes to work. Not everybody's using those watches. Vanderbilt broke it out against Oklahoma State 6 weeks ago, opening weekend. And, you know, Auburn is letting their guys, there's nothing going on. There's a walkie-talkie if Coach Thompson and Coach Hudson want to call something in, but it's different on the other side of the ball, letting them call their own game.
Pierce takes one in the dirt. He only played 8 games with a couple of starts for Auburn last year. He had 2 seasons of junior college ball at South Mountain, but only had 11 at-bats because of an injury in his 2nd year. Riley leaves after 2 innings plus 1 batter. There's a strike to Bobby Pierce.
Played minor league baseball in Portland, Maine. It was the home of the Marlins. And, man, I don't know about January, but what a beautiful place to be in July. Growing up in Florida in the heat of Florida, and then going there in the summer.
You better believe it.
Beautiful place. Hunter Owen from Portland, Maine.
But if we think that the mosquito population is impressive in the South, try it up there.
And they're big ones.
Yes, they are.
Look like pterodactyls.
A smash deep to left field, and it is off the wall. Even Baz can't climb the wall and get that one. A single off the wall, and Bobby Pierce just ripped one. It got to that wall in a hurry, a wall-banging single.
It's a hanging changeup, and he sped his bat up. And watch this, right in the middle of the plate to Bobby Pierce. You speed the bat up, you get a double off the wall, and it was hit, single. It was hit too hard, as you said, Lynn, for it to turn into a double.
Bobby Pierce's mechanics were perfect on that swing. He had the leverage, the hips were coming through, the wrists as well.
Yep.
You can't hit a ball any harder than that.
Good job by Javier Vaz. You know, yesterday it was a similar ball that he was able to jump and catch. Today the ball beat him, so he backed up, played it off the wall, and kept it as single.
Foster moved up to 2nd base. Now it's Nate LaRue, who reached on a fielder's choice last time. He is first pitch swinging.
Tell you, the way these guys are swinging, I'm glad I'm up here with you, Lynn. I don't want to pitch in this game. Joseph Gonzalez for Auburn, he's the right guy so far in this game for both teams, but it's a tough day to be a pitcher, especially the way the Vanderbilt swung it yesterday, and then Auburn today, just attacking everything.
Auburn fans should not get ahead of themselves. There's a lot of baseball to go, and the opponent is a quality team, a national quality team. But the fact of the matter is, with a win today, Auburn would do something it hasn't done since 2018 against Vanderbilt, and that's win an SEC series against the Commodores. More than that, though, it kind of solidifies the direction Auburn's in. And the Tigers have been off to a surprising start, surprisingly good. They've won on the road in the SEC. They're trying to take 2 out of 3 against Vanderbilt. This is one of those foundation games that you might look back on late next month and say, you know what, this is kind of where it all started, or this is where our team was verified.
Yep, and it'll make them 7-5 in the league, which is huge. There you see what's happened. Auburn has dominated way back, but the last 20 years since Tim Corbin took over, they've won a bunch. Vanderbilt's won 5 in the last series, 5 of 6, I'm sorry. But you're right, Lynn, it makes Auburn 7-5. They're 1 game behind Arkansas in the West.
That's hit sharply to third base. The step on the bag, the throw over is a little bit wide. The ball is loose. Here comes the runner, and he will make it. Davis Diaz took that hot ground ball at third. He was able to race to the bag for the force on Cole Foster, but then his throw misconnected to first base, and the Auburn Tigers will take that run as Bobby Pierce came all the way around to score.
I think if Diaz had it to do over again, he might go right to second base. Just go to second base, try to get the 5-4-3, but instead a good tag and then just a rushed throw. If he had it, he's a young guy. He's trying to make a great play, just throws it up the line a little bit. But had he to do over again, the ball was set up to kind of go 5-4-3 and maybe an easier route to 2 outs.
So Vanderbilt's first error adds to the Auburn lead. And everything you can get, you will welcome against this Vanderbilt team.
Absolutely. They're going to score some runs. Potentially, they can. Let's say that. They have the potential to put up a bunch in a hurry. So, yes, everyone you can get, absolutely take it. Mikey Bello here for Auburn from New Jersey. You got Hunter Owen on the mound from Maine. So the SEC reaching out. We talked yesterday about Vanderbilt having 18 different states represented on their roster. Auburn probably has as many. I'll count up for you and let you know.
Ground ball left side. And a bit of difficulty getting the ball out of the glove for Davis Diaz. Well, he also may have looked at second and said, hey, I need some help over here.
Yeah, no, excuse me, I'm sorry, I walked on you there, but nobody was there, and he double pumped and a good job of setting his feet. I don't know what happened. Vanderbilt wasn't in double play depth, weren't in position, but playing deep, left-handed hitter up, but they were, you see how far, there you go, they were shifted. So it's a long run for the second baseman to get over there.
So Diaz did the right thing. He recognized that it would be a difficult hookup at best with an infielder at second, and he did get the out at first. And that previous play, by the way, was a fielder's choice with LaRue at the plate. And then the run scored on the throwing error from the third baseman Diaz. A fielder's choice and an E5.
Auburn's had some great at-bats, Len. They've had some quality at-bats against good pitching.
Rambush has popped up and reached on a fielder's choice. He stole a base and he scored a run on Sonny DeShera's home run off the batter's eye in center field. Rambush has been really good. This is one of the best leadoff batters in the SEC. 374, you'll take that all day. He can run. He's been on base now in 30 consecutive games. And this will be enough to score another run. A scorcher into the right field corner between Noland and the foul line. And Blake Rambush just continues to beat the baseball to death.
I mean, does he ever? This ball is right inside the first base bag. Vanderbilt was shifted off. The history shows he probably pulls a little more early in the count. Not today. Shoots this ball, fastball away. Look at that. Just stay behind. That ball was almost in the catcher's mitt, which is just good hitting. Stay late, let the ball get deep, go to work.
So Hunter Owen is reached for a wicked double into the right field corner, and here is Kason Howell.
This Auburn offense is fun to watch.
7-2, Auburn leads in the deciding game of the series.
And Lynn, this Auburn offense, this is not built on the who's who of high school baseball. Vanderbilt is. These are perfect game all. This is built on just good, hard-nosed, blue-collar guys who have bought into Gabe Gross and what he teaches. They're veterans. They've been around, so nothing surprises them. Just good, hard-nosed baseball by the Auburn offense.
Hunter Owen will throw it over to first base to end the inning as Casela. He scored the first run for the Auburn Tigers. So now Joseph Gonzalez has a 5-run advantage as we play in the fourth. These next couple of innings are very important for him.
Big for the Auburn bullpen, too. With this much lead, settle in, just roll up ground balls. That's it. Just keep rolling them.
A chop to the second baseman, who was pulled over on the left side perfectly, and you can't play it any better than that. Cole Foster was exactly where the ball wound up.
Lynn, if you don't shift right there, it's a base hit.
Oh, indeed.
Back through the middle, but he was right behind the bag. You see Joseph Gonzalez almost like he's in the stretch. It's called the hybrid. It's illegal in high school baseball. So what you look at, you see him set right there, like he's got a runner on, but now you're going to see him step back. It's kind of an old-fashioned look. It came around 4 or 5 years ago. They call it the hybrid, kind of the stretch, wind-up mix, and he's using it. I'm not sure why it came about. I don't know why we needed to change from the old-fashioned rocker step, but you see him right there, like he's in the stretch. But instead of picking it up, he's going to step back, which is a wind-up move, and then throw a good sinker. I love it. I love what he's doing. I hope this broadcast all over the country to young pitchers. Get a two-seam fastball, maybe even lower your arm slot, and learn to create action on the pitch. And we'll talk more in the fifth inning.
Vaz, a senior out of Huntsville. He was a catalyst yesterday defensively. He also had a home run onto the top of the Auburn training facility beyond the right field wall. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled back. Friday night, we'll have a top 20 baseball matchup for you right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Number 2 Arkansas hosts number 19 LSU in the second game of their big 3-game series at Baum Walker Stadium in Fayetteville. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Arkansas and LSU Friday night. Vaz goes the other way.
And Lynn, that is how you attack a sinker ball pitcher. If you try to pull and roll over, I hope we can get a shot of this. Javier Vaz, this guy's a baseball player. You may look up in a couple of years, see him in the major leagues, the way he handles the bat. He got a good sinker, good pitch by Gonzalez, but watch what he does. It's like a wand. It's a magic wand. Just flick it out there. Don't try and do too much. That is how you teach hitting against a sinker from the opposite side of play. Don't try to pull it. Let it get to you. Let it get deep, and just shoot it the other way. Kid's a baseball player.
Jonathan Vastine now at the plate. He doubled last time.
I sat here 4 years ago and watched Huntsville High School play Auburn High School in this stadium. Javier Vaz was playing. He's about 116 pounds, and he wore the field out. And who's this guy? He went to LSU Eunice, kind of your stomping grounds down there, and then he's come to Vanderbilt, and, man, he has settled right in as a great player on this Vanderbilt offense.
Well, he's got some championship jewelry from the junior college national championships that LSU Eunice has produced. He takes a big lead, not going anywhere with the deficit. A liner to left field. Left fielder coming on, and he makes the play. Mike Bello was charging and then had to sort of alter his angle, but he was able to reach out and pluck it. That ball was well hit, but it's out number 2.
That was a great approach by Vastine. Again, just get a sinker up. Don't try and do too much, and well placed there, but two well-positioned defensive plays by Auburn. Cole Foster up the middle against Bulger, and right there shifted a little bit was Mikey Bello, and a good play there on the line drive.
Here's Carter Young, who flied to Bello last time.
Good
Steve Wright.
Good backdoor breaking ball. The left-handed hitter, we talked about how you keep them off of the sinker. If you're a right-handed pitcher, you throw backdoor breaking balls. Joseph Gonzalez takes a slider, starts it outside. The hitter gives up on it, and it breaks over the corner for a strike. 2
outs and the sprinter at first base in Vaz. That's foul right back our way. There's a net in front of you. Don't flinch, Mark.
I tried to catch it. It's going to lay out. Carter Young's had a tough offensive weekend, a great defensive weekend. Vanderbilt needs him. They need him to put some good swings and do a little more offensively.
He has not had a base hit. Can the out be made? Yes, it is. Cole Foster with a big league play on the infield. Doubled in a run. He has a 3-run home run.
Well, it's a better matchup for Auburn because, Lynn, you've got a left-handed pitcher. You got a good arm out there, but it's the right-handed hitter is going to see it better from left-handed pitcher every time. And Sonny DeShera has seen it pretty good as it is.
DeShera sends a slow ground ball to the left side. Diaz picks it up, double clutches, and still gets DeShera by about a half step. Good play by Diaz.
Sure.
And then Hunter Owen hit the deck. He felt like that ball might be headed right his way.
Catch him with the chops.
Yeah, he just went down. Please don't hit me with the throw.
Well, you have to play deep at third because Sonny DeShera hits things so hard, and right there off the end of the bat. And a good job by Diaz to come get it, exchange it quickly, and get rid of it.
That's the first time DeShera has not reached base. And he's been on base in 28 consecutive games now. Carlson on a half swing, committed.
First pitch slider by Owen, so a good job there. Taking a little off early in the count and just pitching. You got to pitch. You can't just throw.
A chop up the middle. Bastine has time to make the play midway between the mound and second base. And Hunter Owen has quickly dispatched a couple of Auburn hitters here in the fourth.
Interesting. Vanderbilt, they just do things different. Like right there, ground ball out. The first baseman throws it back over to the second baseman. So instead of the old-fashioned, been around 150 years, throw it around the infield, they throw it to one guy back to the pitcher. That Tim Corbin has some flair, some different things he does, and he believes in that a little different than everybody else.
One of those differences is what Vanderbilt does between innings.
Yeah.
There's a whole routine of exercises and stretches and sprints, and half the team will gather in the outfield and go through some calisthenics of some sort.
It's like Cirque du Soleil. Every single inning they run down and stretch and circle up and do some yoga and get loose and keep a body warm.
Moore has walked, and he also has an RBI single.
Good changeup.
He literally swings himself off his feet.
Might have gotten that one off the shin somewhere.
I hope he's not hurt.
On the leg.
No doubt about it. He's having trouble putting some weight on it.
Doesn't wear any protection down there below his knees.
He's one of those old-fashioned players. Yep. A lot of stockings showing.
Got the socks, the leggings, not stirrups. See what happened here. It's going to be an ouch.
Ooh, right off the right knee. You ever been kicked by a horse? That's what that sounds like. That's what it sounds like, and that's what it feels like.
I'm going to avoid both.
He takes a hack at it and goes.
Mixing the slider. Vanderbilt is his fourth consecutive left-handed hitter. He's mixing backdoor sliders and then taking the two-seamer and just sinking it down and away.
Noland has grounded to second base. He sends this one to the left side, and that is through beyond Rambush and Moore. And so Parker Noland gets aboard. This Vanderbilt team is relentless.
They
right
really
now
are.
It's down 7-2, but there is potential in every at-bat.
Yep, they sure are. They do not back down. They do not give in. Got a ground ball. Did Joseph Gonzalez, but well placed through the hole between 5 and 6. A diving Blake Rambush couldn't get there.
That is the fifth hit. Gonzalez has struck out 3. He got a couple in the first inning, and then he struck out Keegan to end the third with a runner at second base, and that was a big one. And now the ball is rolling beyond the catcher on the delivery from Gonzalez. And moving up to second base is Parker Noland. And this is how it can start for Vanderbilt. You do
sure
not want to let this Vanderbilt team have any chances that it doesn't absolutely earn.
Don't light the fuse, Lynn. Don't light the fuse. Leave it alone. And, you know, they were lulling a little bit yesterday through 3 innings, and all of a sudden the defensive play and then the offense exploded.
So Noland moves up on a wild pitch.
It's been one comfortable swing, the double by Vastine. Other than that, the base hit right there through the hole. There's been one good look, sweet spot. Right now, Joseph Gonzalez living off the end of the bat. That's what you want to do.
Bradfield, a tough customer at the top of the order. He has rolled out twice, once to third, once to DeShera at first. Noland at second base. The infield is playing it normally. And that's off the mark a little bit.
Auburn defense playing pretty much straight away, which tells you Bradfield uses the field well. He doesn't have a dead pull mentality. He does a good job of keeping everybody in their straightaway positions based on the spray chart.
That's where Gonzalez does not want upstairs. He's not walked anybody. He's been really throwing strikes, has struck out 3, but nobody since the 3rd inning. 2 in the 1st, and then he got Keegan to end the 3rd.
Well, and Lynn, this is the hurdle for the Auburn starting pitchers, the 5th inning. They got 4 in the 3rd from Hayden Mullins on Friday night. They only got 3+ yesterday from Trace Bryant. This has kind of been the inning that Coach Thompson's been preaching. Hey, guys, we got to get over the 5th inning, get into the 6th and 7th from our starters and quit wearing the bullpen out.
This will be a difficult play, and it cannot be made by Blake Rambush.
That ball was actually spinning away. You know, most ball, like to a catcher, it's going to spin back to him. This ball was spinning away from Rambush, and as fast as he is, it's going away from him towards the stands. He just couldn't get there, but great effort.
Rambush was the only one of 3 defenders who had a chance to catch it, and he was not able to get that glove in the right place. So a 3-2 count now on Bradfield. Out of Hialeah, Florida. Swing and a miss. That's a big, big strikeout for Gonzalez.
Sure is. And I don't know if Joseph went with a changeup. He missed up and away, but he may have gone with the first changeup of the day. Let's see what it is. I think it was a breaking ball that just didn't really break, but it worked out for him. It acted more like a changeup. Bradford just could not get there. Big pitch, big out. Get that guy out.
Here's Davis Diaz, who has singled and scored and struck out. He has played as a pull hitter on the infield, but not the exaggerated shift. And the outfielders are straight away.
Another thing we hadn't talked about a lot that's really kind of sold in this generation is the rhythm of Joseph Gonzalez. I talked about how you kind of get the feel he's just playing catch. Watch it. Watch this easy rhythm. Pick it up, land on raw eggs, and just throw it. And again, Lynn, this generation has been built on the drive line, throw it, crow hop, and throw it into a net. It's 98 miles an hour. Go as hard as you can go. This guy is bucking that trend today. It's just an effortless, because when you're effortless, you have body control, Lynn. And when you have body control, guess what? You have strike zone control. And that's the whole point of pitching, is to have control of your pitches in the strike zone. Keeping this offense off the sweet spot is hard to do. And so far, 4 1/3, Joseph Gonzalez doing a great job. Should really be 7-1. We had the air out in right field early.
A chop to the left side. Moore comes up throwing over to DeShera for the 2nd out. Nolan moved up to 3rd. Auburn's infield was unconcerned with him to get the 2nd out. And this brings on Spencer Jones, a very dangerous hitter. He unloaded an RBI double last time, and he struck out in the 1st.
Yeah, he's comfortable. So he's 4 for his last 4. 3 for 3 yesterday, a couple walks. He hit the ball all over the field. And last time up, he got a hanging breaking ball in the middle, hit the double down the right field line. Sorry, he's 4 for his last 5. Struck him out in the 1st inning.
He's also a Californian. Big target. Wiggles that bat above his shoulder and takes a high strike. Spencer Jones has an RBI opportunity with 2 outs. Let's go back and look at his swing and the result. A long home run yesterday.
Bam. And really outside, up, but away in those long arms. That's 6'7" reach. And I think we had it at 454 feet, which got things going for Vanderbilt.
That's one of the longest home runs that you'll see this year on any level.
It's the first time today that Joseph Gonzalez has come inside, and it was his best velocity. It was 93, and he jammed up Spencer Jones, which now it opens the plate back up, because now Jones thinks, you know what, I can't lean out there because they just busted me in. He might do it again. For the backdoor breaking ball. Went for it. Same pitch he threw to Bradfield. And he just missed out a little bit. And Spencer Jones, good job of laying off.
Jones has a .369 average as he stands at the plate. 6 home runs, 26 driven in.
I'd love to see Gonzalez come back in again. Can he get that 93 back inside? That's where LaRue's going to set up.
He works with a runner at third.
He got it there.
Popped up, left side. Rambush over. Is there room? He makes the catch as he leans toward the left field wall. Spencer jump. Cole Foster leads it off.
Switch hitting. Somebody asked me one time, Lynn, I work in a facility, young kids, how do we switch hit? And I said, I don't know. I don't think there's a secret. I'd love to hear Todd Walker, who I know you followed him, and Chris Burke back in the SEC office talk about their principle. You see a good strike there, good fastball, and Hunter Owen throwing the ball great. But I don't know. I don't think it's something you just teach, because if it was, there'd be a lots of them. There's not many switch hitters, and Cole Foster is good at it from both sides of the plate.
This one he lifts into right center field. There's a choice to be made. Either one of the outfielders could make the catch, and the right fielder does.
If you're a left-handed hitter naturally, maybe you wouldn't do it, maybe you would. I think it's one of those things, if you're a coach or a dad out there, maybe as your 9-year-old son, you try it and you don't coach him. You put a ball on the tee, left and right, let him swing and just see if it takes. But I don't think you can teach it, because there's not many guys that are really good at it, of course, across the history of baseball.
A chop up the middle. Will this get through? Yes, it does. Bobby Pierce is having a very nice day. This right fielder is 3 for 3.
And let's talk about it. We mentioned it early. He sat for a year and a half. Last year, you mentioned it, 8 games, maybe 8 starts, not many at-bats. He was hurt. And then this year, he was buried and waited, and some guys didn't perform. All of a sudden, he got a chance against the week of Texas A&M, and here he is, 3 hits, hit .345. Good for him. It's all about perseverance. You got to persevere.
And, of course, there's a need for a response in right field because of the injured Tiger.
Absolutely. Man, baseball is just such a game of failure, and I just see parents and kids get impatient. We all do. You get impatient. You get frustrated playing time. Now we have the transfer portal, so if you don't like it, you can just leave. Instead of, no, I'm just going to stay here. And Bobby Pierce just stayed at Auburn. He could have transferred portal last summer. He stayed here. Now he's starting. Now he's hitting .345, and he's doing a great job in the SEC. Good
and let's get Auburn fans updated on the progress of Josh Hall. He made that game-winning catch against LSU and then banged into a very solid, unprotected wooden bench and chair area. It looked like he had smashed his knee, but the real problem was a serious foot injury, and he's in the boneyard literally for an undetermined amount of time. So that opens up a spot.
It does.
In right field, and Josh Hall was having a nice year.
And Coach Thompson mentioned it early in the week in our interview with him that he's not hopeful. Josh Hall can fly. He's a threat to bunt. He's kind of in the lines of a Bradfield, but there's not a lot of hope maybe. But, hey, good for Bobby Pierce. You know, next man up, as a saying across college athletics. Bobby Pierce has done it.
Check swing strikeout.
Yeah, Hunter Owen, he's mixing, man. He's got some life, arm side life. This is kind of, I didn't expect this. Probably looking for a changeup and got 93. Can't adjust to that, and he's done a good job. Got some life to the arm side, got a good changeup, and thrown some breaking balls. Big, strong lefty from up there in Maine country. Polar bear, well, not polar bears, grizzly bear country. Some kind of bear. They got bears in Maine.
Oh, indeed they do. And moose and seals.
The minor league baseball team was called the Portland Sea Dogs, which I guess that's a seal, sea dog.
I think that's a name just conceived for commercial purposes.
Yep. I want to get to know Hunter.
What's the I'm going to change subjects on you real quick.
Get it.
What's the oddest or the most unique minor league baseball nickname that you've run across?
I love the Lansing Lugnuts.
Yeah.
But you got the trash pandas in Huntsville. Isotopes. The trash pandas in Huntsville.
How about the biscuits?
Yeah.
A liner hit deep to right, but it is trackable, and It is caught by Spencer Jones. So Bello hits it well, but flies to right, and we move forward. It's 7-2. Auburn is leading Vanderbilt. Joseph Gonzalez returns to the mound for his 6th inning of work, and he's got a 7-2 lead, and he has pitched well. 7
ground balls for outs. Probably 4 of the base hits have been ground balls. A slider. He's a sinker slider guy. No change-ups. Sink it, slide it, backdoor it, pitch in. Spencer Jones a little while ago came with a fastball. He's done a good job all the way across the plate, and he's mixed his speeds. So what's a sinker? Two-seam fastballs, Lynn.
At what point does Butch Thompson take a hard look at Joseph Gonzalez and turn it over to a couple of really good guys in the bullpen?
There's absolutely no way this guy's coming out. The bullpen's tossing. But I don't think, well, he's giving us 6 good job. He is commanding everything, and he's getting ground balls. He's doing it 63 pitches, 64 now. So I just think you mess with the baseball karma if you take this guy out. 1 ball, and 6+ has been barreled up. 1 ball. That's what you want to do. 1 inning of 17. If you stay between 11 and 14, Lynn, you're going to be in the game for a while and have a lot of success. And he's doing it just by staying below the barrel. Nasty slider and getting stronger.
And he just got a 400 hitter on strikes.
Watch this thing. This is the slider out of Joseph Gonzalez's hand. Looks like a fastball for 55 feet, and now it's gone. So I told you, I was hoping we were going to compare and contrast Patrick, the starter, Patrick Allen for Vanderbilt, and Gonzalez. Well, the starter for Vanderbilt's not in the game anymore. Here's the difference. It was 4-seam fastballs at 95 over the plate behind the count. This guy's sinking 2-seam fastballs over the plate ahead in the count. Another ground ball. Here comes Rambush.
Rambush charges, and quickly there are 2 outs as Bulger, who had 5 base hits yesterday, is retired for the 3rd time.
And let's remember, we showed you the records yesterday. 23 base hits, 10 doubles, which is tied the record for most doubles in an SEC game this season. 4 home runs, 19 runs scored, 23. I mean, the same offense, nothing's changed except the guy on the mound. Good approach here last time by Vaz. Take it, shoot it the other way. When I coached at North Carolina State, Lynn, the old legend up there was Sam Esposito. He played in the big leagues. He was the legend at North Carolina State baseball, and he would sit over the fence. We'll watch this pitch, and I'll tell you the story. Good sinker. He would sit on the other side of the fence, and he would tell me, watch my pitchers. He goes, Coach, every one of them should drop down. And that was the mindset back in the 80s, was drop the right-handed pitchers down, create some action. And that's what everybody did. Coach Bear did it with Tim Hudson.
This could be a 7-pitch inning as Bobby Pierce lines up the high fly ball. 1 for 3 today. His last at bat was an RBI double. He also has reached on a fielder's choice and scored. He has stolen a base and popped up to the shortstop. Hunter Owen got in a little bit of difficulty in the 3rd inning when he came on with nobody out and a runner aboard. There was an error in that inning which contributed to a couple of Auburn runs, but since then he's been really good. He's retired, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the last 8 batters.
Total command. So watch right here. Watch Rambush get wide, 2-strike approach. And let's see what Hunter does. Drew Owen, that is. Fastball in or changeup? Went with a fastball. He's sitting on 93. It's a good, quick arm action right over the top, but he hides it well. And he's mixed the changeup really well. Probably throwing every 3rd pitch has been a changeup off speed. It keeps these Auburn hitters a little bit off balance. But Rambush fun to watch with 2 strikes.
Couple of strikeouts for Hunter Owen. No walks, 1 earned run. Rambush will not go down without a battle.
No, he is as good as it gets with 2 strikes. Had a game a few weeks back. I think it was 14 pitches and an at-bat and a base hit, and it just got the offense going. There was a little bit of a spark, and I can't remember. Memory's terrible, but whoever Auburn was playing, they got a roll going and won the ball game. And it all started with 1 at-bat. Good pitch.
Hunter Owen will run near first base and make the underhanded toss, and Rambush is retired.
Hunter Owen did a good job of mixing in, out, in, out. He called his own pitch right there, so they signal it on the watch. But I guess the Vanderbilt pitchers have a chance to kind of wipe what's called, which communicates to the catcher what's going to be thrown. Watch him come set. And they'll give a little wipe here. He's either going to add or subtract, which is changing the pitch. We might not have time to see it. Good change up there.
Kason Howell has been hit by a pitch. He has walked. He has scored twice.
Right there, letting the catcher know, I want to throw this. So it was I don't know, what we use? Watched in? It was sent in, and he changed the pitch, and he made his pitch. He jammed Blake Rambush and got him out on a fastball inside.
Howell lifts it out of play on the right side.
He's really a similar version of Joseph Gonzalez, left-handed. He's sinking it. Arm slot's a little low. I don't know. I'm assuming a two-seam fastball, but there is arm action away and mixing good off-speed pitches. There's a good slider. Just missed up. The arm slot, Lynn, so we're talking about Tim Hudson being changed by Coach Bear. Scott Sullivan, myself, he changed all of it. Just lower the arm slot to create the action.
3-2 now with one out, nobody on base. Auburn got 2 in the first inning, 3 in the second, and 3 more in the third. Vanderbilt scored 1 in the second and 1 in the third. That is a foul ball by inches.
Well, and everybody in that Vanderbilt dugout is saying, please, we want to get the number 2 hitter out because we want to have an open base and nobody on when the number 3 guy comes walking up there.
Well, we know Sonny DeShera is on deck, and he's going to get an at-bat. And I just want you to, at home or wherever you're watching on whatever device, just kind of take a deep breath and relax and watch the crowd get into it, his walk-up music. And it's about to come right here. That's a good strikeout by Hunter Owen. That's his first. And here comes truly the #1 story in college baseball through the first half of the season. Now listen to the crowd get into this, and it is a near capacity crowd on a gorgeous day for college baseball.
And it started the first game of the year, way back in February. The love for him and the song began as soon as he got here.
He has driven in 4 more runs today, with a laser-like double in the first and a 3-run home run in the second inning.
Watch this, and it's not a bad pitch. Fastball down and away. And he's not 6'7" like Spencer Jones with the reach, and he went and got it and just absolutely deposited it up against the wall. Good job of pitching. I will say Hunter Owen twice has done a really good job of pitching Sonny DeShera. That was a 2-0 breaking ball. You want to talk pitching? Throw me a 2-0 breaking ball and a fastball count. Now you're pitching.
DeShera hit 273 last year. Here's another one. Way up, way back, and it's over the left field wall. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye one more time. Sonny DeShera, an amazing story. The crowd up and just charged as it should be with the solo home run with 2 outs, and Sonny DeShera continues what many people thought could never be done.
Absolutely. He got a hanging changeup, and you know what? Guys that are just home run hitters, they're early on hanging changeups. Guys that are good hitters, they stay late, they get those pitches, and they deposit them over the green monster. A hanging 2-strike changeup for Sonny DeShera, and he was not early.
Sonny DeShera hit 273 at Samford last year with 18 home runs. He's hitting well over 400 this year. He's about 175 points better. He's certainly on that home run pace, and this is just, it's almost beyond belief. I mean, this is the stuff of movies. Sonny DeShera.
Lynn, I played with Frank Thomas in 1989, and it's that kind of season. I mean, it's batting average, it's walks, it's on base percentage, it's RBI. Frank Thomas did it all. Sonny DeShera is doing it all 30 years later.
An RBI double in the first for DeShera, a 3-run home run in the second, and a solo home run in the sixth. He's got 11 home runs now.
And you know what? Good hitters, they don't go in slumps. They might have a bad game, but good hitters that can stay late and can 2-strike hit and don't get fooled, they don't go into slumps. Sonny DeShera is not going to have an extended part of time this season where he gets into a slump. It won't happen. I hate that word anyway. The game's hard. It really isn't a slump. It's just tough. But a bad game here and there, maybe. 0 for 3, maybe. But an 0 for 10, 12, 13, not a chance, I don't think.
There just aren't any holes in his swing. Vastine makes the play at first base. The inning is over, but Auburn adds to its lead. It's now 8-2 because of this swing by Sonny DeShera. This ball got up in the air and it went over the left field wall, and we'll be back in a moment as the Auburn Tigers lead by 6 in the deciding game of the series. It's the Sonny DeShera day for Auburn here, leading 8-2. And, you know, Mark Fuller, most baseball players will never know what it feels like for Sonny DeShera right now with the unbelievable numbers he has put up and the way he has done it, the times he has done it, the impact that he's had on games when he does it through the first half of the season plus. Most baseball players will never, ever reach that level. It's a sport nobody dominates, and right now through 32 games, Sonny DeShera is dominating it. 2 good backdoor sliders by Joseph Gonzalez to get ahead, and another one. And he stabs the ground ball, and there's the first out. He has retired now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. You can sum up Joseph Gonzalez. If you're listening, please, youth coaches, please listen. You can sum him up with 2 words: action and rhythm. He doesn't overthrow. He creates action on his pitches, and he mixes. The Vanderbilt hitters right now have no idea what to look for. Backdoor. It's only 2 pitches. It's not 5. It's a backdoor breaking ball and a sinker. That's it. And there's the sinker. Right? That's another break. That's 4 breaking balls in a row. Excuse me. It's a slider up. But right now in the Vanderbilt offensive mind, they like, Coach, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to get. He's not falling behind. He's throwing first pitch strikes. So much fun to watch. Such a breath of fresh air. Kyle Hendricks started on opening day for the Chicago Cubs. His best fastball was 88. This guy is a replicant of Kyle Hendricks. 19 of 25 first pitch strikes. Rhythm and action. That's the 2 words, Lynn. Carter Young looking for his first hit. He was robbed of a base hit on a tremendous play by Cole Foster. A layout catch moving to his right on a ground ball. Then he had to throw it from his backside and popped up and got it done. Young lobs this one out to shallow right field, and it is down on the grass in front of Bobby Pierce, who gave it everything he could do and left his feet to try to make the diving catch, but it came up a bit short to him. So a bloop base hit for Carter Young. That's the first hit he's had in the series. Yeah, and good for Carter Young. You know, he's battled on defense, had a tough weekend on offense, and got himself a base hit on a breaking ball. Great pitch. He just got enough with the barrel, enough loft to drop it between Foster and Pierce. Here's Parker Noland out of Knoxville, Tennessee. 1 for 2 today at the bottom of the order. 6 hits, Lynn. 1 hard hit ball. 1. 6. This team put up 23 base hits yesterday. If you want to know why, I think I've been saying it for 7 innings as to why. Well, 14 of those hits were extra bases, too. 4 homers and 10 doubles, which is just a remarkable output. Of all the numbers you have talked about with Gonzalez, though, the one I like best, look at the walk column. Yep. None. Strikes. Command, strikes. But again, the command and the first pitch strikes, Lynn, the lack of walks, it's all allowed by the rhythm of his body. Look how far over on the pitching rubber he is. That allows for the sink, but it's the rhythm of his body. He'll go to second for 1. The shortstop's relay back to first base. 1-6-3. And Albert von Tilzer. And they had never been to a baseball game. And this was in the early 1900s? 1908, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Base hit. Maybe. Yes, it is. You never want to give up when Bradfield is out there. Absolutely. So Brody Moore gets his second hit. Donye Evans is the second reliever for Vanderbilt out of Decatur, Georgia. Big guy, but nearly all of the Vanderbilt pitchers are. He's 6 feet 6 inches tall. No record. Only worked 5 innings this year. He's surrendered only 1 hit. He struck out 5, hasn't walked anybody. And by those numbers, that certainly indicates great success in the few games in which he has appeared. He has thrown very short relief.
Out of Georgia, he was the 5th rated player in the state of Georgia out of high school. Perfect Game had him rated real high, big body, and again, I keep relating to everything to Joseph Gonzalez, but similar body type, similar action, similar arm action, so you would assume he's going to create some sink on this thing. Yes, Lynn, everybody should drop down and sink the ball, if you were thinking that or wondering.
I think I've heard that before from you. Is there room in left field? Vaz is on the dirt, and he does make the play.
Ball's got good action. Man, Donnie Evans looks like more like about a 3-4 maybe in the basketball court than he does on the mound. Long arms, loose, whippy action.
1 on, 1 out after the single by Moore and the fly ball to left field by Foster. And here is Bobby Pierce out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Pierce has been perfect at the plate today. He's been there 3 times. He has 3 singles.
Get back a little bit on Bobby Pierce. We talked about the transfer portal. You know, there's still a place in this world to persevere. Guys go through injuries. Of course, Tommy John is the most significant injury in the baseball world. And this is a guy, and there's a couple on this team who have just hung in there. Nate LaRue was buried, probably the 3rd or 4th on the depth chart catching. Really, Coach Thompson had mentioned him more in the pitching regard. He's caught every SEC baseball game since the A&M series. And so guys persevering. I'm all for it, Lynn. I'm all for it. Hang in there. Keep working. And just persevere through it and earn it. When the transfer portal's been huge now for Auburn, Brooks Carlson and Sonny DeShera, so you can't fault that. But I'm just saying, if things aren't, they didn't leave Sanford because things weren't going their way. They left Sanford because they had done all they could do. They got their degrees, and they wanted to try bigger pastures, and it's worked. But I'm all about persevering when things don't work out for you. Just hang in there. You know, you picked a school because you liked it. Don't just go leave it because things aren't going well, because it won't go well at the next place either. That's my opinion. I'm so glad it wasn't around when I played and coached.
That's upstairs to Pierce. Not often do you see this much stocking showing in today's baseball.
Yeah.
Most of those, the end of those pants usually come down around the ankles.
Yeah, the slacks, right? Auburn guys like them up.
A big swing, and that one hugs the line and then twists off foul.
We used to put the elastic. Remember the leggings in the 1980s?
Oh, yeah.
Put the elastic in them so you could stretch them all the way to your knee. Leggings, then it became stockings, then it became basically Pierce is kind of like soccer socks, I guess they call those. The pants up to the knee and got the socks pulled up high. Brody Moore wearing the old-fashioned stirrup leggings.
Well, there used to be the urban myth that if you had the short pants, in other words, you would only take them down to where the strike zone ended, and that would be, there was an urban myth that would help the umpires.
That's right.
But I don't think it had any bearing whatsoever.
Didn't help me. I hit 130 in high school. Good slider. Good 3-1. Fastball count to a guy with 3 hits, and Donnie Evans snapped off a pretty good slider. See him looking at his watch right there, blocking the sun, getting the sign. Really unique. We're in a unique place in college baseball now. We're wearing watches to get signs in.
Runner on the move, and that's ball 4. Well, here's our featured upcoming softball matchup over on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Now, this is Monday night. Number 4 Alabama and number 6 Florida. Can you get a better matchup than that? They finished their big 3-game series in Gainesville. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Central. Game 3 in that magical series between number 4 Alabama and number 6 Florida in softball.
I love the fact that softball's gone to Monday nights because they have the athletic world to themselves. There's nothing else going on. Basketball season's over, so we can just sit around now and watch. Just as competitive SEC softball as it is SEC baseball. It's fun to watch, high intensity. The girls are into it every pitch.
Well, the skill levels, too, of the players are remarkable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nate LaRue twice has reached on a fielder's choice. He has scored a run. He's also struck out. He's 0 for 3.
And Auburn is one big swing away, and LaRue's a guy that can do it from putting this game away. And you and I talked at the opening on the series-winning opportunity for either team today. Auburn on the verge of doing it with a couple more walks and a big hit. Vanderbilt pitching needs to tighten up a little bit and try to keep it at 6 with 2 more bats.
Well, when you walk the coals over the course of 10 weeks in the SEC, winning 2 out of 3 anywhere is big. Whether it's week 1, week 6, week 10, it all counts, and it can all make a huge difference in postseason, not only in seeding in the SEC tournament, but potential hosting in postseason regional play.
Well, it's the reason why you see SEC teams, Lynn, not playing tough non-conference competition. Most of them go to one big tournament. Vanderbilt played Oklahoma State. Auburn went to Dallas. But
this will be a foul ball out of play left side.
You could call it a soft non-conference if you want to, because like you said, it's walking on hot coals for 10 weeks, and you don't have to have much of a non-conference winning percentage or strength of schedule if you win 15 games or even 14 games in this league. 14 and 16, you're in. You're in.
They've got the runner hung up. An early release from second base.
That was an inside move called probably by the dugout. Donye, 3-2 count. A little predictable, although it was 1 out, not 2, and Brody Moore got caught cheating a little bit. You'll see Donye Evans pick his leg up and Brody Moore breaks like he's going to go home. It's called an inside move. Pick it up, turn inside, and go. It's not a balk.
And officially out stealing.
You see it a lot more with 2 outs. Right there, Auburn tried it with 1 out.
And a swing and a miss. Nate LaRue goes down on strikes for the second time. A runner left at second base. Auburn carries an 8-2 lead as we move forward on the Plains. It's 8-2 Auburn. We play in the 8th inning. Auburn with a lead over Vanderbilt. Let's take a look at current SEC West standings, and this puts this game in perspective. Arkansas at 8-4. Auburn is just 1 game back in the loss column. LSU is right there. Alabama is right there. Everything is jumbled tightly behind Arkansas, and the Razorbacks off to a good start, but they are certainly aware of the 3 or 4 teams behind them that are certainly at striking distance.
And this Auburn team was picked 7th preseason, so you can take your preseason ranking and you can throw them right out the window. And you got to play the game. That's what Auburn is doing. They're playing it with veteran guys on defense. They're playing it today with a guy throwing the heck out of it on the mound, and Joseph Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is out there in the 8th. A liner to center field, but right at Kason Howell. He didn't have to move at all.
That's what they thought of Auburn preseason. Just a motivation piece. That's all it is. Ole Miss, you see them, and we saw them at the very bottom. So you got to go play the schedule. You got to play the season. A lot of that's based on, who's returning, draft picks that didn't sign. I get it, but you got to go play the season, and Auburn's doing it.
And nobody knew DeShera would come out and do what he's done, and not just him, Rambush and others.
Yep, Carlson, absolutely. Total command of everything he's doing, Joseph Gonzalez. He's in the 20s now on first pitch strikes. That was the second hard hit ball right there by Bradfield for the line drive out of the day. And Joseph Gonzalez is bringing back some hope that maybe we could play a game in under 4 hours. I know I shouldn't say it, but I feel pretty good that he's in command of what he's doing. And I know what Auburn's got in the bullpen in case he does get in trouble.
Where else would you rather be on a gorgeous Sunday? The throw from one corner to the other is on the mark. Rambush over to DeShera. 2 quick outs here in the 8th. And Joseph Gonzalez, since the 5th inning, appears to have gotten stronger.
The rocking chair. And if I'm him, hey, boys, you guys in the bullpen, y'all take a day off. I got this. The complete game is a lost art. We're not there yet, but he's 1 1/3 outs away from doing it. His pitch count he's 85 pitches. I saw Greg Maddux one day pitching just like this. Throw a complete game, 9-inning shutout, 76 pitches, Lynn. He did it 1 hour and 46 minutes.
You will never see that again.
Probably not.
Well, look at the difference in yesterday's explosion and today's output. Jones and Keegan, 12 of 14 yesterday, a home run, 6 doubles. Yes, that's correct. 8 RBI. Today, 1 for 9. Jogans, Keegan, and Bolger just were part of a wrecking ball yesterday for Vanderbilt.
Auburn's found a hole, and right there, Gonzalez didn't get the call, but they're exploring inside with those long arms of Spencer Jones. I think the mindset right now from Coach Thompson, Coach Hudson is, hey, Joseph Gonzalez, let's pound him inside, mix the backdoor breaking ball, but let's go get him inside and try to beat the swing. Backdoor breaking ball here. There it is. Tight. That's gotten better. He hung a few early, but man, the last 15 or 20 sliders have just been tight, nasty.
And here's the weird thing now. With 2 strikes, the infield goes into the overdrive shift.
It's different, isn't it? Saw Tim Hudson, a sinker slider guy himself. Backdoor, see ya.
4 walks. Would it be fair to say that statistically, when you look at all the numbers that Vanderbilt has impressively acquired this year, would it be fair to say that this team to this point is somewhat of an enigma?
I think so. Yeah, because all the pieces are there. That first fastball was 97 from Christian Little. But yes, Lynn, I think you're exactly right. You know, the starting pitching today and yesterday, not great. Holton could only get into the 5th. Today it was less than that. So you and I talked about that. But yeah, the pieces, the velocity, the power, the hitting, the athleticism, it's all there. And you know, sometimes a team just is not able to, you can have all the pieces, but they just don't come together. And on the Auburn side, you got transfer portal guys, you got seniors, blue-collar guys, you got guys that sat and waited, and they got it going. They got it together. It's hard to put a finger on it.
Well, you mentioned yesterday when we had a protracted discussion about the potential for this Auburn team, and I don't think it's playing to its potential. The Vanderbilt team. I don't think it's playing to its potential right now. I think the best is yet to come, and I think this club, while it certainly will not, in my opinion, run down Tennessee because of the great start by the Volunteers, I think Vanderbilt at the end of the year is going to be a much fiercer and opponent than it is right now.
I agree, but they're going to have to find that. They haven't lost yet. I mean, they got some more at bat, one more at bat to go, but they're going to have to find whatever it is, whatever the glue is that Auburn has right now. Auburn's kind of glued together, led by Sonny DeShare, his personality, his humor, his lightheartedness. Venom's going to find whatever it is that's keeping them from being that team that they're used to being.
It bounces by the first baseman after a heck of a play by Jonathan Vastine, but he could not get the throw accurately over to first. And Rambush is safe there. That's a difficult play, and it took a weird hop, but Vastine was able to get in position to make the play. Watch this ball take this last hop right here. He has to leap to get it, throw to first, falling away. And not a real good effort by Parker Nolan there.
Not a bad hop. It kind of lost momentum as Vastine was coming across the infield. That little hop threw him off enough to make a wide throw. But you're right, it wasn't a terrible throw, but not the best effort by Nolan.
And that's an infield hit. And Kason Howell is at the plate. DeShara may get an at-bat here with 1 out.
We haven't seen the preseason East rankings. I'm sure we have them, but I would imagine it was either Vanderbilt or Florida pick number 1. And you had Ole Miss pick number 1 in the West. And here Vanderbilt's looking at being 5 and 7, and Ole Miss looking at being 4 and 8 possibly after today.
We've got eyes from all over the SEC watching this game and beyond, of course. So let's bring you up to date. Tennessee has won again.
12 and 0, 30 and 1 on the season, I believe.
And Tennessee setting an SEC record, starting with 12 consecutive victories to open SEC play.
Lynn, I don't ever remember a baseball team being 30 and 1, ever. I mean, it's just aluminum bats, the SEC, and they are just cruising through the best conference in the country.
Wasn't the only loss to Texas when Texas was rated number 1?
Early in the season, yeah, the tournament, I believe. They got a 1.8 league ERA.
Now, I want you to say that again.
Yeah.
Because somebody said, no. Mark misspoke. No, that's not. Mark did not misspeak.
Base hit by Kason Howell. 1.85. Got a hanging breaking ball there, and it's leaned out. Here comes King Kong. Here comes the song. Here comes the fun. Here comes the hype.
Here comes the big guy, and he's had a huge day again. An RBI double, a 3-run home run, and a solo home run. And the crowd getting into it. This is the second inning 3-run homer. Kaboom! The 6th inning home run. Kaboom again.
Christian Little wants to have a conversation. I don't blame him. What do you think he's going to say? Can I walk this guy? What am I supposed to do here? I tell you, there's been a few players, Lynn, across the generations at Auburn to bring this kind of excitement. Obviously, Bo Jackson and Frank Thomas and Charles Barkley, and this year a couple guys in the basket. But there's not many guys that bring this kind of aura and draw and excitement to a fan base like Sonny, especially baseball players. Football, yes, with the hype and the attention.
Ball 1 to Sonny DiChiara. We just showed you some statistical highlights from DiChiara, and the beat just keeps going on. You keep wondering, when is he going to have a bad game? When is he going to strike out 3 times and hit into a double play?
Yeah.
It has not happened.
I don't think he's hot. I think he's just that good. There was a player at Alabama when I coached years ago, Lynn. His name was Jeremy Brown. And this was kind of the movie Moneyball. Brad Pitt, the whole generation of, less money and build. Jeremy Brown was a guy that nobody would have thought would have gone in the first round. But he did. He was a catcher, kind of a DH. And it was a similar deal. He walked us off in Tuscaloosa twice on a weekend. And, it was kind of just a big, strong, thick body, and the guy could really hit, not real athletic anywhere. But he ended up being a first-round draft pick by the Oakland A's. That was in the Moneyball era in the early 2000s. Sonny DiChiara is that kind of guy. He is proving to everybody, especially professional baseball, I can do this at a high level.
Batting .457 as he stands in. 42 hits, 11 homers, 32 driven in. 28 straight games he has reached base.
Could have been drafted last year out of Stanford, but I'm sure the mindset was, I just don't know if he can do it at a high level. Well, that had whole shot all in it because he's doing it better at the high level. You said 175 points higher than he did at the mid-major level. Great baseball conference. Stanford is in, but here he is in the best baseball conference doing it at an extremely high level. Got to take notice.
He is the leading hitter in the SEC as he stands in. And he also leads in on-base percentage. In fact, he leads the nation in on-base percentage.
Christian Little's got him in a 1-2 count. Can Christian Little make that pitch, that 2-strike, out of the zone?
That's a big overhand curveball. DiChiara watched it in, and he saw the rotation and let it pass downstairs.
I saw Frank Thomas never get fooled, ever. And I don't think I've seen Sonny DiChiara. I've seen him get beat in a little bit, but I have never seen this guy in the short season we've had watching him get fooled on pitches. Pretty good breaking ball there to lay off of.
DiChiara lifts this one into the air, and the right fielder is coming on. He's got a lot of time to get there, and he does. That's Spencer Jones. And DiChiara is retired for the 2nd time today, following a couple of home runs and an RBI double.
They clapped for him 1 out.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Christian Little sitting 96. That's maybe how you beat Sonny DiChiara. You take 96. It better not be 93. 96 up a little bit and just beat him enough to get the fly ball to right.
Christian Little has that teal-colored glove.
I was going to ask you, you've been so good with colors all weekend. Is that teal or is there something else?
That's teal. Yes, that's teal.
I thought you might have something more creative for me.
I think Texas teal is pretty creative. Liner on one hop, backhanded play, shortstop gets up, guns to first, the pluck there. Oh, that's nicely done. Carter Young, Parker Noland get the out on a heck of a play on a very hard hit ball off the bat of Brooks Carlson. Vanderbilt is down 6. The Auburn Tigers won on Friday. Vanderbilt dispatched Auburn yesterday handily, Today it's Auburn in the ninth, leading 8-2, and Joseph Gonzalez has pitched a masterpiece.
Tell you what, let me run some names by you. Bradfield, Diaz, Jones, Keegan, Bolger, Vaz, Vastine, and Joseph Gonzalez has just shut him down for 8 innings, going for a complete game potentially. First time since Casey Mize, and I was here for that one. First pitch, slider, pop up to center field. Case and Howell camped under it. 1 out. I was here for that. There was a no-hitter, Casey Mize, 4 years, Lynn, since Auburn's had a complete game. And you know what? The way he's thrown, he's at 90 pitches. Well, it came
against Vanderbilt, and that was the year 2018
That's right.
that Auburn last defeated Vanderbilt in a series.
In the sweep, yeah. SEC complete game, correct.
Now,
Joseph Gonzalez, he'd go 5 more innings the way he's thrown.
The longest he's gone this year, Gonzalez, is 6 2/3 against Rhode Island, and that was back in early March. But he has been just wonderful today. The infield shift is on for Bolger. Bolger is 0 for 3. And there's a base hit as he goes the other way and drops it into right field. So Bolger, who had 5 hits yesterday, collects one in what could be his last at bat here in the ninth. And the thing about Gonzalez, the strikeout number is moderate. The walk number is exceptional.
Yeah,
None, 0.
You can have a strikeout. Strikeouts they cost you pitches. You know, if you're a strikeout guy, fine. But Joseph Gonzalez knows what he is. He's got enough strikeouts, but he knows what he is, and he's good at it.
He's got 6 strikeouts, no walks. And when you are not charitable on the mound, you have just given yourself a huge advantage to success.
He missed the start at A&M. He had a blister on his finger after the, Ole Miss series maybe. So he missed the start at A&M, came back last week LSU and threw well. But this by far has been a masterpiece.
Vaz is 1 for 2.
And that's been the difference. Again, 94 pitches. I would bet 45 sliders. Backdoor to the lefties, down and away to the righties with enough sinkers mixed in to get ground balls. And he just kept them off his fastball all day long with that backdoor slider.
Vaz is called out on strikes. Number 7 for Gonzalez.
This is a backdoor slider. What does that mean? The backdoor out and around the plate. God.
That's a good pitch. That thing really was darting like a shad in shallow water as it approached the plate, and that's just unhittable.
And there's been not one piece of emotion from Joseph Gonzalez. Poised, like he's just numb, in his zone.
Vastine, who has doubled in 3 tries, is at the plate. A freshman from Bartow, Florida.
I'm interested to see when he gets this final out, how he responds. I think it'll be kind of a fist pump and just another day at the office.
This is not just another opponent, though, in Vanderbilt. This crowd knows it has seen one of the best.
Hitters ruin all the fun. They have to stick their bats in there and ruin it, but a good piece of hitting by Vastine. Got the backdoor slider, stayed with it, just poked it over the second base hole.
Here's another left-handed batter in Carter Young. He's 1 for 3, and that was the only base hit he's had in the series, as he hit a soft fly ball that found the grass in the outfield in his last at bat. 2 outs, 2 on. And that is barely off the mark.
Joseph Gonzalez has not changed his rhythm. I'm sure he's jacked. There's a volcano in that side right now, but man, he's not just humping and trying to go get every pitch right here as hard as he can. He's remained the same. First inning or ninth inning, same guy.
Everybody resets. There are 2 outs, 2 on. The lead is 6 for Auburn. Scoring 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. There will be no play on this. And then 1 more in the 7th inning.
Let me reiterate one thing to you, Lynn. This has not been 96 miles an hour. It's been 90 to 92 the whole day. It's been pitching. It's been, I don't know who designed Joseph Gonzalez. Maybe nobody. Maybe he just naturally, back when Puerto Rico, he started playing catch and went to one of those academies. This is just the way he's thrown. But somebody taught him something about rhythm and poise.
So again, 1 pitch away from a complete game victory over Vanderbilt. The crowd is standing under glorious sunshine. The lead is 6 for the Auburn Tigers in a game which would give Auburn a series victory over Vandy. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. It's over.